Before we start, I would just like to ask you to mute yourself during the workshop. However, if you have any questions, we have a small round, so you can really unmute yourself or make questions loud or even in the chat. And we can have like an interaction discussion here. I also would like to ask you to use these buttons that WebEx offers us. For example, this thumbs up, thumbs down, or any kind of, because I can see you here, and then it's going to be very useful. So, okay, what are we going to see today? This workshop is split in two parts. First, I would like to explain some concepts, some basic concepts before start working with Tableau. And then we're going to do a hands-on exercise. So I really hope you have installed Tableau Desktop. And then we can do it together and build a new dashboard until the end of the workshop. So the idea until the end of the workshop, I really hope you can work around and have this first contact with the basic stuff from Tableau. I will touch some point, as you mentioned, with data connection, data source connections. Today, if we talk about LODs, it is a bit too early, but I can mention something during the session. So, okay, so let me see if you are still there. So please, some thumbs up for me, and then we can start. Anyone else? Great. Cool, so let's start then. First of all, what is Tableau? Tableau is a great tool which will help us to see and understand our data. And then with this data, we can get some insights and provide these insights for decision takers to drive their business and organizations. And how they do it, they offer us different kind of products. So from the data supply chain that Bjorn was mentioning, we have, I will mention here 5 key products that is important for us today. But today we are going to work with Tableau Desktop. So first, the first moment, if we need to gather some data, prepare data, shape and transform the data we have, we would use the Tableau Prep Builder. This is a very friendly, user-friendly way to change the data if you want. And I'm going to show you, like, you don't need to worry, like now, but this is just to show you how it looks like. You can connect your data sources, if you have an Excel file or even data from a server, you can connect it to this Tableau Prep Builder. And then you have this workflow to change your data the way you want. You can clean it, you can replace some data or do some union, joins. And then in the end of the workflow, you will have your output and the data source you would like to work within Tableau. Okay, that's Tableau Prep Builder. This is the first step if you want to prepare and transform or work with your data the way you want to work in Tableau. And then in order to create dashboards, reports, edit everything, we have Tableau Desktop and Tableau Server. The Tableau Desktop is the one you downloaded and the one we're going to work today. And the Tableau Server, you can use it in the web browser. So you can also edit and create dashboards, but this is the way you use to publish the dashboards and collaborate inside your organization. With Tableau Desktop, it's a software you have inside your own machine, and the Tableau Server is in the web browser. You can share it. You can share a link with someone else inside your company. However, the Tableau Server, it doesn't have the same functionalities as Tableau Desktop yet. Hello?
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
Weiter? Any questions so far? Okay. Then Tableau Public. Tableau Public is free of use. You can download it and you can add it and create dashboards. However, it has some limitations. It's free. You can only publish the results inside the Tableau Public website. And I'm going to show you how it looks like. So basically, Tableau Public is the YouTube or the Instagram or so this kind of source where you can use for finding some inspiration, finding other dashboards. It's like the social network where you can find other dashboards. And for example, if I wanna see how something is created in Tableau, I can either look for it in Tableau Community or here in Tableau Public. And if I wanna see, for example, a waterfall chart, because I don't know how to create it in Tableau, I will find some inspiration here. So if I will see how other people have created this chart, and I can open one of them. For example, this one. And sometimes the author, they give us the possibility to download this workbook. And I can even download it to my own computer and open this file and see how it was created. What else I could recommend you? Some like tip from my side is people, like following people. I follow this guy. He has like very nice dashboards he created. But this guy, so Tableau Team is his name in his artistic name inside Tableau. But he's also very cool because he has a lot of videos in YouTube explaining how things are done in Tableau. So if you have any kind of questions, try to look for Tableau Team and your question inside YouTube. You're gonna get from this guy. What else I can show you inside Tableau Public? This guy. It's Mark Bradbourne. He has created one nice thing he has created. It's an escape room inside Tableau. So here I just want to show you what is possible to do inside Tableau. Not only like the dashboard business relay, but also you have plenty of possibilities. Another dashboard very cool to see is this Mario Kart characters. You can, next time you play Mario Kart, you can open this dashboard and look for which is the best character to choose related to its skills. And this was all created in Tableau. So great. Awesome. Any questions now? Some thumbs down, thumbs up. View 1, 2, 3. So let's keep going. And you also have the Tableau Mobile. So it's basically an app. You can download it from Apple Store, from Play, Google Play. And you have the app from Tableau. And you can see in your tablet or even your device, cell phone, smartphone, the dashboards you have created and published inside Tableau server. So you just connect the app with your credentials, password, username of Tableau server, and then you can open the dashboards you have. Okay, so let's see how data is connected in Tableau. I am gonna open my Tableau. So once you open Tableau, this is the first page you get. And in the middle, you can have some, like the dashboards you were working, at least these were the last ones I have opened. But let's look here on the left side. Tableau gives us the opportunity or the possibility to connect with our data source, either to a file. So if we have an Excel file or CSV or Access, PDF, or whatever you have, you can click more and open this file from your computer. But Tableau Desktop has also gives us the possibility to connect with a server. So we click here in more, and we have all these possibilities. So if you have any kind of data source inside your SAP, your Microsoft SQL, these are the possibilities. And you have the access, the user, and the password to this data source. You can connect it with your Tableau. Another cool thing inside Tableau, once you open it, now let's look to the right side, is this Discover. You have like free videos training to get started with the basics about Tableau. And let's go back to the left side. Tableau has some internal data source already saved in it. So this is the Superstore, the word indicator, and this EU Superstore. So if you open one of them, let's see the data source. So this is the data source from Superstore. So if you want to play around and discover a bit more of Tableau, you can just use the Superstore and start playing with your data. So here on the left side in connection is your connection with your data source. And here down is the tables you have. So if you want to work with these different tables, for example, let's imagine an Excel file. We have a file, a workbook, and different sheets inside this Excel. So if you want to work with the first worksheet, you just drag and drop it to the center. This center is our work area. It means that every box we have here are the box we are going to work with. And once I click this box, I can see my data here down. So the data are here separated by columns, and we'll get back to it. So let's get back to the presentation. So what are the types of data that Tableau offers us? As you saw in our workbook from Superstore, Tableau recognize the type of data we have. For example, we can have number, we can have a date, we can have a text, a string, a geographical row, or a Boolean, true or false data. And the cool thing that we can change it here easily, which kind of type of the data we want to have. For example, if I have this ID, this date, here Tableau recognizes a date, but if I don't want it as a date, but as a string, I can easily change it. Or even here inside country and region, Tableau has recognized this is a geographical role, but I could change it and assign non-geographical role for this field. Okay. Now let's understand a bit the difference between discrete and continuous fields. Some fields that we have, we can categorize them between discrete and continuous. Discrete fields, and Tableau will show us these discrete fields in blue. It means they are qualitative. So you can categorize. They are used just to label, just to name stuff. And with this, you will create mostly of the time headers. And in the other hand, we have continuous fields. Tableau will show us these continuous fields as green, with the background green. And these continuous fields are quantitative. So everything that you can do a mathematical operation, they are continuous measures. So it can be aggregated. It means you can do sum, you can calculate an average, you can calculate the medium value or the maximum value, the minimum value. So it's for continuous fields. And some examples. Discrete fields, we can name it as country name or the name of your pet, component of dates, for example, the month, like January, February, March. These are like a label, a category, or even an ID. An ID can also, it's also discrete and will be shown in blue by Tableau. On the other hand, we have the continuous measures. So it can be dates, temperature, speed, height, everything that you can measure or make a mathematical operation, sum, average, maximum value, minimum value, it will be continuous. And we'll see that later on still in Tableau, but Tableau gives us the possibility to change or to choose if you want the value to have a discrete row, mainly when it's a date, or to have a continuous row. For example, let's take month. Month can be discrete and can be shown in blue. And as you see here, we are categorizing our data by month, so it's discrete. Or we can have a continuous date and use it to see some trend and the time trend. Then Tableau will show us this value in green. Okay. I hope it's not too much yet. Do you have any questions so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Can I continue? 1, 2, 3.5, 3. So let's go. Let's continue. So let's talk about aggregation and granularity. This is like a concept you also need to understand when working with Tableau. And let's look, before looking at it, let's look at an Excel. You also have gotten this Excel file from us. This Excel file, we have a table with category of different types of products. So we have furniture, office supplies, and technology. So different categories of a product. A subcategory, and it means that each category will have different types of subcategories, right? So inside furniture, we have 3 different types of subcategories. We'll have an order date when this product was ordered and how much of sales and the profit this sales has generated us. Right, so this is a table we have in Excel. We are used to work with Excel, so we can understand how it looks like. And in Tableau, how it would look like. So we have this table in Tableau, which is basically the same as we have in the Excel file here. So this is the table, the same table as we have in the Excel file. And this table is very granular. It's very detailed. So we have this table by date. So we can see here that inside this date, we will have 1 sales. So let's take this example, for example, in office supplies, we have storage, and we have for March, we have different dates for of a product being sold on March. But I don't want to see I don't want to see the different dates. I want to see just how was the sales on March. So what was the sum of sales on March? So this view here is very granular. It's the granularity here is by date. So if I take out date from my view, I will have then the sum of my sales inside March. So if I take out the month, I will have the sum of sales in this year. If I take out subcategory, Tableau will do automatically this sum for us. So Tableau is aggregating all the values by sum for us. So the more dimensions I have in my view, so I am adding more dimensions to it, I will have more detailed information, more rows, so more granularity, right? So if I take out the dimensions, the less dimensions I have, So my view will be aggregated. So, and less detailed it will be. All right. We can do it also in Excel. It would be, we would have to create a dynamic table here and do some sum inside a month or do some sum inside this year. Basically, Tableau do it for us automatically. So basically, talking about aggregation granularity, again, Tableau aggregates all the measures for us by default, and it uses the sum function. And it will change the value if we add or take out some dimensions. And basically, more granularity means more rows, more details to our view. All right, then dashboards interactions. This is something very cool. After you create a dashboard in Tableau, you basically create different views and then you put these views together to create a dashboard. But the best thing that you can do is to filter one view with the other in order to create some interactions. Once you click, for example, here in this map, you click a country, this interaction will make that the whole dashboard will be filtered. So you can create these interactions. This is crucial when creating dashboards inside Tableau. And last but not least, what is very important for us to know is after you create your workbook or you save a workbook, I'm going to open my Tableau again. You can save a file and you can save this file as a TWB, which means you are saving this as a live connection. You are just saving the views that you have created in Tableau. So if you delete your data source or if you send this file to someone else via email, this person won't be able to access the data. However, if you save this as TWBX, so Tableau Package Workbook, it will package all the information you are using inside your Tableau. For example, if you have images, if you have the data, it will compress like kind of creating a zip file inside Tableau, and then you can share this file with someone else, and this person will be able to visualize what you have. So after saving the file as either TWB or TWBX, basically your Tableau contains the different views, different graphics, different visualizations you have created, so different sheets. And then in the end, you can build a new dashboard and put together all these views. This is the workbook from Tableau. And let's look at Tableau better. So as I was saying, you can create here down, you can click here and you will open a new sheet. And this sheet, that's where you're going to create your visualizations, your graphics, or diagrams, whatever you want, or just a text. And you can create different sheets, either clicking here in this button down, new worksheet, or here up, you can come and also click new worksheet. So different worksheets. And if you want to put this worksheets together in a new dashboard, you can come here also up and click new dashboard. And then once you have the view of a new dashboard, you can, here on the left side, you have all the sheets you have created already. And then you can play, just drag and drop these sheets to your dashboard the way you want and place it wherever you want inside the dashboard. This is what we're going to do later on. And you can edit everything. Okay. So before we start with the hands-on exercise, do we have any questions so far of what I have explained? No questions?
What about data warehouse sources? How are they connected?
I will open again my or what do you mean? But how are they connected?
Which is the way they are connected? By click and drop, or
Yeah, you can open
build a
like new
connection?
data source, for example, and then
Okay.
to a server.
Server, okay.
Yeah, and then
Data
more.
warehouse server. Data warehouse server.
Yeah, and then you need to choose what data source you have. If your data is inside a server, then you need to choose here all the options.
Okay.
And then, for example, I will choose MySQL, and it will open me all the information I need to know about this server. For example, a username, a password.
Okay.
Let's try another example. So with Oracle, and also all the information you have from this. And then this will be a live connection. Your Tableau will be connected live with the data. But if you want to work like with your data in your computer or like more efficient, more faster, you can create here like instead of like a live connection, you can click in extract, which means that Tableau will save a copy to the workbook, and then you will be working with this copy inside your workbook.
Okay.
All right. So let's start working with our data set. And now you can open Tableau, the Tableau desktop you already have installed. And we will connect our Tableau with this data source. I will open Tableau again from zero, so we all can see how it's connected, how we can connect. So this is the first screen we have once we open Tableau Desktop. And then we can come here, connect on the left side, connect to a file. Just before I continue, please thumbs up just to know we are together. Do we all have the Tableau desktop open? Josephine is with me. Who else? Great, Rabi, Aquilino, thank you. So just open your Tableau desktop. Great, thank you, Rebecca. And then click here on the left side, more. Once you open more, you will have the chance to look inside your computer where your file is saved. And we will open this file that you have all received from us. And we will select this Airbnb data extract. This is our data source we're going to be working with. So let's open. Great. So now we have the data. Let's look at it. Basically, just before, like, don't know if you all know, Airbnb is this platform where you can host people, you have private accommodations, and you can, if you go to a city, you can basically stay at private accommodations instead of staying in a hotel. You can look for Airbnb accommodations. It's a platform, online platform. And today we are going to be working with the data set. This data set has some European cities, 12 different countries, and some hosts. And this on the right side is the dashboard you all are going to build today with me. So let's have a look in our data. I will hide this view here, and I want to see how my data is. So we have different columns, and so we have city. This is, as I was mentioning, Tableau recognizes this as a geographical role. This is great for us because later on we can build some maps already. We have like a number of records, number of bathrooms inside an accommodation. As you can see, this is a number, but this is not an integer, not a whole number. This is a decimal because some apartments, we know some apartments have, for example, 1.5 bedrooms. We also have the type of bed, number of bedrooms, number of beds, if the cancellation policy is possible or not, if there's a cleaning fee included in this apartment or not, the country, description, host ID. This is very important for us because we're going to work with this host ID. Each host has an ID, an identification number. So this number is important for us because with this, we can know how many hosts we have in our data set, in our data. The name of the host, since when this host is registered in Airbnb. And as you can see, Tableau also recognized this field as a date already, which is great for us because we don't need to be changing it later on. The web page, an ID, this ID is for each row of the data source, and also some other informations that we won't be using. The price of the host of the accommodation, the type of the apartment, if it's a house, apartment, bed. So this exercise we are doing now and checking our data source, this is very important because every time you are going to build any type of graphics visualizations, you need to know very well your data. So this exercise is crucial for us to start building our visualizations. So, okay, now that we have our data, it's ready. As you can see here in our work area, we have this extract is already here. If it wasn't here, we could just drag and drop it to our work area. Great. So Tableau has already connected to our data source. Let's start building some visualizations. Before building it, let's see a bit more like the structure of Tableau. I will start with this show me button here on the right side. This is a patent that Tableau has. If we click here, we can see some different graphics or the most common or key diagrams that you can create. These are not all the graphics you can create inside Tableau. These are just like a recommendation or some easy ways, some easy steps for you to build your view. So this is a great way to start, but if you are a bit more experienced with Tableau, you can just use this view here, the marks, where you can choose what you want to see. If you want to see a text, a bar, a line, an area chart, some square, circle shapes, whatever. And you can also play around with these columns and rows. For example, this is just an example. You don't need to follow me here. Let's click post ID and add it to columns. Tableau will automatically start building some graphics for me. But I just have in the columns, I have my host ID, but I want to see in rows what I would like to see. I would like to see, for example, how many bedrooms each host ID has in its apartment. And as I was mentioning in the beginning, everything that is discrete, Tableau will show us in blue. everything that is continuous or a measure, Tableau will automatically do us a sum, an aggregate function sum. So here in our view, we can see for each host ID, for each host, how many beds it has. Okay, this is just an example. So let's forget about it. I will click in my file and just drop it out in order to delete it from my view. Okay, now we can start working together and you can follow me. If it's too fast, you can interrupt me and I can redo it together with you. Let's start changing the name of our worksheet, so we know what we are going to build here. So in order to change it, just click on the sheet and let's write it together, like in which month for the host register. And as soon as I click enter, you're going to see that the title of my view will also be automatically changed. So here in this visualization, I want to see in each month, when was this host registered? So in my columns, I want to see month. So I will look inside my Tableau. Just 1 second. We'll close it. I will open it again. Somehow it stopped working. So meanwhile, do you have any questions, any concerns, anything that we can talk while I open it all over again? Okay, so let's open it again. If I want to connect to my data, I click more, and then I open my Airbnb extract. We already have our extract here. Now it's working. So let's get back. Okay, we changed the title. In which month were the hosts registered? Great. Now I want to see in my columns the month. So here in our data, we have this host since. I just click in host since, keep pressing it, and drag and drop it to columns. Automatically, Tableau will show us this as year, but I don't want a year. I want my month. So I will click in this arrow, and I will just change it for month. Great, so now in each column, I have my month. Again, if I click my arrow, here we have the options to choose year, quarter, day. As you can see, this is an example. So these are my discrete values. These are my blue values. So my label, my category. Or we can have this as a continuous measure and it will be shown in green. Here, for example, if I say month, it will show me a green field here. So let's get back to month. And I want to know how many hosts we had in each month. So I will take this host ID, I will click it and drag and drop 2 rows. I will add all members.
Sorry, can you go back to what you just did, where you clicked?
Where I clicked where, sorry?
When you dragged host ID, there was like
Yeah.
a pop-up
Yeah,
thing.
I click host ID. Ah, okay. Sounds like I click host ID, I come to rows. And if our data set is too large, Tableau will show us this warning. So if it's too many data, too many rows, it will show us this warning. So I click add all members. So I won't filter anything yet. So I click add all members.
So that means that you can filter before
You can,
adding the
yeah, you
data
can.
by
Mhm.
like a
Clicking
type of,
filter, exactly. Yeah.
right? Okay, thanks.
So now it's 11. I would suggest we keep going just for more 10, 15 minutes. If you are all okay with it, some thumbs up, thumbs down, or if you prefer us to have a 15 minutes break now. So the question is, can we continue? Thumbs up. Okie dokie, so let's continue a bit more and then we can do a break. So, okay, now we have our month, our column, and we have our host ID. But I want to do some calculations here, some mathematical operation. So something is not the way it should be. So our host ID should be actually a measure. So we can change, instead of showing dimension, we can click host ID and change it for measure. But the measure, then we can choose what we want to show. We can, if it's a measure, you can either show us the minimum value, the maximum value, count all the host ID, or count distinct host ID. Now we are going to choose count distinct. So just click count distinct. And just before we proceed, I will explain you what is the difference between count and count distinct. So let's say, for example, I have a fruit, I have apple, banana, and some peach. If I would count how many fruits I have here, my result would be 4. I have four different fruits. However, if I count distinct, here I only have how many types of fruits, different types of fruits I have. And here I have only 3 types: apple, banana, and peach. So basically this function count and count distinct, this is the difference. Now if I'm counting, I'm summing everything that I have in my data as a row. This is the sum of each row of the total sum. But if I'm counting distinct, it is just like, or if we could say in Excel, kind of excluding the duplicates. So just showing me the distinct values, the different types of values we have. So, okay, now we are back to Tableau and we have exactly what we want to have by month and how many different hosts we have by month. But I don't want it as a line. I want it as a bar. So we can try either show here in show me and click bars, horizontal bars, or I will go back and do what I did. So either show me, or we can come here in the marks, and instead of clicking automatic view, we click in bars. And that's the result we want to have. But there's something here that I don't want to appear in my dashboard. This doesn't look nice, and this doesn't look professional, which is this null value. So I can filter this value. So instead of showing my null, I can just click here, null, and click exclude. And as you can see, the month will come automatically to this filter mark, to this filter box. So in this filter box, if I click it and show filter, it will appear for me that all the new values are being excluded from my visualization. Okay, so again, I click null and then exclude. So each month I know how many distinct hosts we have in each month. Okay, I don't want a blue. I wanted to have the colors from Airbnb. How can I change these colors? I can click in color here. And you also have received from us a file, which is called style, right? So if you open the folder that you have received, there is a file there called style. Just open it. And you have the HTML code for the Airbnb color. You just copy it. I will select it. I will copy, Ctrl C for Windows. And I'll come back to my Tableau and I will select in color. I will choose more colors. And here I can choose what color I want to add in my visualizations. So here in this HTML code, I can just paste it. And I have the color, this color. And once I click OK, it will change my color to the Airbnb color. Great. Any questions so far? Anything you would like me to redo? Do we all have the same? So thumbs up. Do we all have the same visualization now? Oh, Ravi is together with me. Anyone else is with me also? Jacek, thank you. Vino also great. And Josephine, great. So let's keep going. So my bars, I wanted to show me something here in the top. And what I will choose, I can choose my month to show me on the top of each bar. So I will do the same. I will click on my host since. So there are a few ways of doing it. I can click host since, keep pressing it, drag and drop it to label. So it will show me the year, but that's not the visualization I want to see. I will click the arrow and change it to month again. And it will show me the name of the month on the top of each bar. As you can see, my Tableau is in German. It doesn't mean like that the data is in German, but my Tableau itself is in German. So I will just change it. I click in File, Workbook Local, More, and I can change to English. Okay, now we have our month in English. But this name for me is too large. I don't want it to show me the whole name. I want to format this name. So I click here. As we have this field inside label, I will format this field. I will click the arrow and click format. So again, we have this field inside label. We click the arrow and then format. On our left side, we can edit everything we have in our view. So if we edit the header, it will change here the axis, the header of this view. So if I change anything here, if I put some abbreviation to the date, it will change my header. But I want to change my pane. So I click here in this pane, and then instead of showing me the whole name of the month, I want it to abbreviate. Just show me the 3 first letters of each month. So I click abbreviation. Okay. So we have built our first visualization, the one we're going to use in our dashboard. I hope you now have a bit more understanding of how to move around inside Tableau. Try to play around a bit. Let's do a 15-minute break now. If you're all right with that, please some thumbs up. And we can be back at 11:25, and then we keep going with our dashboard. And please put together some questions if you have, and then after the break we can keep going. All right, so see you then at 11:25. Hello, everyone. So let's get back. Let me know once you are all here, and then we can keep going with our exercise. I see one hand. Let's see some more. Okay, let's finish our break. I hope you all have your coffee, some water, and let's keep going. Okay, so I'm going to show you again how to shorten the month. We basically formatted our month. So we can two ways. We can click here in our label. This is the label. We can click here and then format. And this window will appear for us on the left side, or we can come here direct on the where we want to be formatted. We can click with the right click of the mouse and then format. Sorry, I clicked something wrong. Here we need to click here, the header actually. Here and then format. All right, and then we can change either the header or the pane, and we change here in dates. We click dates and we show how we want it to be shown, either as a full name, as an abbreviation, or just the first letter of each month. But I want just an abbreviation, just like the first letter of each month. Okay, let's keep going. Now, I hope we are all together. I want you to click on this host ID. Click Ctrl of your keyboard, Ctrl, keep pressing Ctrl. Click on this host ID and drag it until color. And once you release, it will change the color of our view. So I will do it again. I press Ctrl. It means I will make a copy of this file. I will make a copy and I will drag it until color. Once I release, it changes the color of my view. What happens if I don't press Ctrl? If I just click in my host ID here and put it in color, I will delete this from these rows. That's actually what I don't want to do. So I just want to make a copy of this file. So I press Ctrl and I drag it to color. As you can see, it changed our color back to blue, which is the standard from Tableau, and then I need to change my colors all over again. But that's no problem. We already know how to do it, right? So we click color, edit colors, and this edit colors, we can either choose different types of diverging colors that Tableau has to offer for us. And this is very good for business analysts or BI analysts when you want to see some positive or negative trends. But in this case, we just want to use our Airbnb color, which we have already saved, right? So I choose again this reddish color, pinkish, and I click OK. What did we do? What does it mean? It means that if we have our count distinct host ID in colors, the colors with more intensity, and then we can see here in this legend, the colors with more intensity, it means that we have a higher number of hosts, and with less intensity, like lower number of hosts. We can either reverse this and show me like the few number of hosts, it will be more intense, and the higher number less intense, but that's what we don't want to do. Or we can even use some step colors, and I just want to use 3 tones of color for this visualization. So this high intense red, it means we have the higher, like this month, July, it means that we have a lot of hosts were registered in this month. However, in the other way, in the opposite way, in January and December, which don't have like a higher number of hosts registered. I'm gonna show you some tips, some tricks. This is our training is very basic training, but this is what I'm gonna show you is like basic plus. So just follow me. If it's too fast or if you have questions, please just shut it. But I'm gonna make our lives a bit easier now. This count distinct, this file that we have here, this is our host ID. We are counting the distinct number of hosts, right? But I don't want to, every time I work with host ID, I don't want to be changing it to measure or to continuous every time. So what I can do, I can create a new calculated field. So how can I calculate it? How can I create it? So here on the left side, just click on this arrow here and then choose create calculated field. And then a new window should appear for you, which looks like this. And we can name this field as total number of hosts. And in the calculation, we can use the same as we have here, CN count distinct hosts. So if you start typing count, Tableau will automatically gives you some suggestions. What do you want to use? You want to use count, or do you want to use count distinct, which means counting? If you don't know what this means, you can just open this arrow here, and then you can choose, like you can search for it, count or count distinct. And Tableau will explain to you briefly what will return, what kind of outcome you're gonna have from this calculation. So count distinct, in this case, returns the number of distinct items in a group. New values are not counted. Each unique value is counted only once. That's exactly what we want to have. So we count distinct, and we are using host ID. I can either type host ID, and Tableau will show me automatically in this field, or make it easier, I can drag and drop host ID to my calculation field. Great. So basically, this is exactly what we have. Count host ID, and here count host ID. And this field is called, the name of the field is total number of hosts. I will click OK. And now we have a new field here, total number of hosts. And I can work with it the same way as I was working with the other files. For example, if I drag and drop this field here to label, what will happen? It will show me the same way as it's showing me the month. It will show me the number of hosts per month, hosts registered since that specific month. Okay. So if you also have questions, I am watching the chat now. You can also write something.
Can
Yeah.
you do what you've just done? Can you do the same by copying the original count listing of host ID and adding it to the label?
Yeah, of course, the same. So I will delete this one. So if I want a count ID or the one that we already have here, I can drag and drop it to label. But if I do it without pressing Control, it will disappear the color. So I need to click Control and then drag and drop to color or to label, and then we will have both. Cool, so let's move to our second view, and then we can, in the end, create our dashboard. So let's again click here for new worksheet or down to add a new worksheet to our workbook. And this worksheet, we will call it in which year for the host register. So same thing. In this view, we have our month in columns. Now, in the second view, I want to have my year in my columns, in my rows, actually. So I will click on host since. I will drag and drop, select this one and keep pressing it, keep selecting it and drop it to rows. And now I have exactly years what we have. I don't want to have nulls. So what I can do, I can filter it either here and click Exclude, or now I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. We can select host since and drop it to filters. And then I select years because this is what we want to see. We are working with dimensions, so years in blue, and I click next. And we have all years selected, and I can just unselect null. So it will show me all the years, but no. Okay, so we have here years also being filtered. That's exactly what we want to have. Now we have here, I want to have also my bar chart for how many hosts we have in each year. So as we were doing, we could work with host ID and drag and drop it. But now, as I have shown you, we work with the created field, calculated field. So we will work with the total number of hosts. It's exactly the same. The information in the end is the same. But we will work with this one because this is more convenient for us. And I will drop it to columns. Again, Tableau automatically did a line chart, but we don't want it as a line. We want it as a bar chart. So I come here to marks and I select bar. That's exactly what we want. Or I will come back, one step back, and let us play a bit with this show me button. And if I click show me, let's see what happens if I click horizontal bar. Yeah, exactly what we wanted to have. Again, the same as we did in the other, I will press Ctrl, select year, and we'll drag and drop year to my label. So I also have my year on the end of my bar. If I want to, I can do the same with the total number of hosts, press Ctrl or Command, drag and drop it to label. So we will see both, but as the view is not fitting the view, I will come back. Let's stick only with the year. But I also want to change the intensity of the color of the box. So I will press total number of hosts, drag and drop it to color. Now we have some more intensity, and again, let's change it to Airbnb color. So I'm gonna do something now that will look better for us in our dashboard. I'm gonna invert the axis that we have. We have year here, but I want to have actually my year the other way around, on the right side. So you can do it together with me. Click on your axis with the right click of the mouse, click on the axis, and then choose Edit Axis. Okay. Once we click Edit Axis, this window will appear for us. And here we can exactly that, edit our axis. We can let it fix and establish a maximum number of hosts we want to show, or better in our case. Wow, my Tableau just closed. So 1 second, I will reopen my Tableau. then we can keep going. Just 1 little second. So I'm back. Okay, sorry for that. So let's continue. I will again click on with the right click of the mouse, edit axis. And what I want to do here is reverse this axis. I want my ear to be on the right side. So I click reversed here. In scale, reversed. Okay. That's exactly what I wanted to have. So, but this graphic is actually looking to, is not fitting my view. I want it to fit the whole view. And how can I change it? I can just come here on the top in our menu and select either a standard view or fit width, fit height, or entire view. Normally, when you're working with dashboards, your visualizations, you're going to change, you're going to choose, you're going to be working mostly with this entire view. So I'm going to do the same for the first view that we have. Instead of having the standard options, I'm changing here to entire. Great. So I will do small changes in the end once we have our dashboard, and then it's going to be, we can still improve this view, but let's do it together in the end. So let's move to our third visualization. But before, are we all together? Some thumbs up to know if you are also with me, if we all have the same view, or if you want me to redo again something. No? Okay, great. So let's move to the next one, next sheet. So now you can do it together with me. Let's place host scenes again to columns and choose month. So I explained how to change it by clicking here and choosing month. But then something that you can do, you also can click this plus here, and Tableau will automatically do it more granular or more aggregate. So if I want my month, I just can delete this quarter, this year, and this quarter, and I will have my month here. And again, let's choose host scenes on the left side, drag it and drop to rows. So on my columns, I have my month, and on my rows, I have my year. Oh, but something that I forgot, like what are we building? So let's change the title of this view. So click twice in this sheet 3, and this time we are building in which month and year were the hosts registered. Enter, and then here I want to see both of them. We will now build a heat map. So in which month and year were the hosts registered? So in my columns, I want to have my month, and on my rows, I want to have the years. Again, I don't want this null value. I will click it and select exclude. And now that we have month and year, in the middle of the visualization, I want to have the total number of host ID. So I can select either host ID and put in color, but as you already know how to work with calculated fields, let's work with our total number of hosts. I will select it and drop it to color. Wow, look how nice it looks now. So Let's do some small changes here. I want this color to be, again, Airbnb color, some corporate colors as we are building a dashboard. So let's choose Airbnb color, this reddish pinkish. And we can add some border also to look better. So the middle color will be the pink, but my border, I will just change it to white, some white borders. So, okay, basically here we can easily see or spot in this visualization that this year, 2015, and this month, July, was the month where Airbnb had a boom of hosts being registered in the platform, right? So at least we can have some input, some insight only from this visual view from Tableau. Okay, I will change it to, instead of seeing the standard, I want it to see my entire view. And now you can have an idea of what we are going to. If we have one view showing only month, one view only showing year, and one view showing both of them, once we put it together in a dashboard, it will really look nicer. What else can I do with this view, or how can I clean this view? Because it's a lot of information, no? So I want to hide some stuff. For example, this whole scenes, I don't need it in my view. I can click it with this, with the right click of the mouse in this title here, whole scenes, and then I can just select hold field label for columns. Oh, I also don't need the month here. I don't need my axis here because I will have it already on my dashboard. So again, let's click here with the right click of the mouse and this show header. Let's unselect show header. We'll do the same for the year. We'll select a year or select our axis with the right click of the mouse and unselect show header. I will come back 2 steps and do it all over again, but in another way. If I want to hide my axis, I can also click here in my mouse, and also here they have this option, show header. So I will unselect because I don't want to see my mouse. And the same for here, I select the arrow and unselect show header. Okay, so now we have our third view. Before we move to the next view, we're going to work with a map. Now let me know, are we all together? Yes, this session is being recorded and you can also check it out later. So we are together, we built 3 views now. Let's build our last view where we work with a map. Okay. So again, let's open a new worksheet here. And let's change the name. We're working with a map now. So I wanted to change like local. No, we will work with cities. So cities where hosts are located. Okay, cities where hosts are located. Cities where hosts are located. Okay, so if you want to build a map, something that you need to know is Tableau generates here latitude and longitude values for those fields you have already selected as geographical role. So if we have here country as a geographical role, here geographical role selected country, or a city, you have this as a city. Tableau has this latitude and longitude automatically generated. We can click twice in latitude, so just double click it, and also double click longitude. happens, Tableau will open automatically a map for us. So it places, basically it places latitude to row and longitude to our column. Okay, so now let's use the fields that we have. We have country and city in geographical rows, but in our view, we want to see the city where the hosts are located. So I just select my city here on the left side, select it, drag and drop it to detail because I want to see more details of it on my map, right? So drag and drop to details. And wait a bit. And Tableau generates for us the spots, the cities that we have in our data set. So I can work with these spots, these circles, or we can also change the marks the way we would like to work. If I want to work as a map and see the cities, as we don't have the cities view, but we can work as a map and I see it per country colored. Or if I want to work per city, we can change it to shape, different shapes, and choose the shape that will be shown in our visualization. Or we can play with squares. But here, let's stick to the circles. So each circle has the same size. So it doesn't say much for us. It doesn't give us much information about the host, right? So let's come back to our data here and select total number of hosts. Keep selecting it. And let's drag and drop it to size. So it will change the size of each circle. As you can see here in this window, I will move this window to the side. We can even edit the size of these circles. So again, I just selected the total number of hosts and I drag and drop it to size. Okay, that's how I changed the size of each circle. Now, if I want to edit the size, I can click on this arrow, edit size, and then change it, make it larger, make it thinner. Okie doke. I won't make it that large because in the dashboard, it won't look very good. So here, now we can have some information now. I can see that in France, at least in Paris, we have a lot of higher amount of hosts. But in other places, like in Italy, for example, here in Venice, we don't have that many hosts. Or even here in Switzerland. So, okay, let's also work with the colors with some intensity. So we have size, and now we're gonna change it to intensity. So we can select this file, total number of hosts, select it, press Ctrl, because we're gonna do a copy now, press Ctrl or Command, and drag and drop it to color. So again, if I don't press Ctrl or Command, it will just change from size to color. That's what I don't want. I want this field to be both in size and both in colors. So I will press Ctrl and drag and drop it to color. Okay, now we have like intensity of color and size of each circle, indicating for us which city has the higher amount of hosts. I will change the color also to something related to Airbnb because this blue has nothing to do with it. So, but I'll do something different now. Instead of the gray, I will choose a gray color for the side of the circles. Click OK. And I will let it a bit more transparent. Yeah, let's keep it 80. And then I will put some border to its circle. In the border, I will choose the Airbnb color. Okay. So again, what we did, we selected longitude, latitude, and that's how we generated our map. And then we came here and we chose country. We drag and drop country to details. That's how each circle was generated. And then after that, we came to this field that we created, total number of posts, and we drag and drop this both to colors and to size. That's how we have our map. So cities where hosts were located. Something also important, very interesting to mention here, we can edit our map or how the way this map looks. And how we can do it, we come here in this menu, map, on the top. And I will choose map layers. So once you select map layers, it will appear this window here on the left. And you can change the style of your map. If you want a dark mode of your map, if you want a normal mode, so with the oceans, or if you want some outdoors view. And you can also here select what you want to be shown in this, the base or terrain, borders, name of the countries. Water labels, cities, and everything. But let's stick with our light version. And just unselect province borders so it looks cleaner and not so many information in the map. Okay, so we now have 4 views. One which says which month hosts were registered, which year, both month and year hosts were registered, and our city. We are now ready to start building our dashboard. But before we do it, I want to know from you, do you have any questions? Is it something that not that clear? Something was too fast or too slow? Or are we together? Do you all have, so thumbs up? Do we all have the same visualization, the same 4 views? Yeah, I see 1, 2, 3 hands.
Well,
Yep.
can you maybe repeat how to do the red circle?
The red circle. Okay. The circle itself, just the circle, we change here. If you want a square or a circle or even a shape. But we can change then the color of the circle by clicking color here. And inside the circle, we instead of selecting the Airbnb color, we actually selected a gray color. Because it would be too much if we select the Airbnb color. So just let's select a gray color. Just choose any kind of color which looks nice for you. So I'm selecting the gray. I click OK. And I also did a bit of transparency, opacity. I changed this instead of having these shapes like 100% opaque, I put it some 80%, 70%. But what I did change was the borders. So let me get back to circle. And then clicking color. And then I changed when I click color, it shows us these effects. And I changed the border. And for the border, I did select the Airbnb color.
Okay, it's just because I cannot select border color. I don't know.
And
what...
make sure that here in this mark, you are selecting circle.
Ah. Okay, thank you. I got it.
Yeah, okay. Just like Also, another thing, other way of changing the color, we can either select here color, or we can come direct to the legend and edit colors. It's the same. So great. So let's start our dashboard. The best part and the most fun part. So we come here to new dashboard, or other way is selecting here. Oops, not this one, but this one, new dashboard. All right. And we have dashboard. So let's change the title dashboard. Let's say something like when or post, which is, oh, sorry, again, since when were posts registered on in. So that's our dashboard. This is, we're gonna build together using all the 4 views that we have already built. So basically we can just drag and drop the views inside our work areas. Just as it says here, drop sheets here. So let's start dropping. Look, I will start the other way around. Let's start with the map. So once I did it, you can see that Tableau automatically adds also these legends, the same ones that we had in our view. However, for our dashboard, it doesn't look much nice. We actually don't need it here in this case. So I will basically just remove this from my dashboard. All right, so we have our map. Next, let's add then which month, in which month the first view that we created. If you keep pressing it and keep selecting it, you can see these gray areas in the dashboard. This is how you know where this view will be placed. So I actually want it to be on my right side of the map. So here in this, with this gray view, that's how I can see where this visualization will be placed. So I will just release it, and ta-da, we have our view here. But it doesn't look that good yet. What are we going to do? Again, let's delete this legend here. And let's keep adding our sheets to our dashboards. For the second one, let's in which year were the hosts registered. And I want it to be on the bottom of the map. Okay. And last view, let's add it on the bottom of the which month. And again, let's delete our legend. Cool. So we have our 4 views placed together. We can now start doing some adjustment here, so it will look better. Are we all together here? Do we all have the same views on the dashboard? Thumbs up for me, please. Cool. So first thing that we can change here. In this view, first let's add the title of the dashboard, because every dashboard needs to have a title, right? So let's come here to dashboard, click on the top, dashboard, and then show title. Oh, here you can see our title, which is the same name that we have renamed the dashboard. I will select twice this title, double click here, and it will appear also this window. And I can edit this name the way we prefer. I'll put some bold on it. I'll make it a bit larger. I will change it. I won't put some Airbnb color here because it would be too much, but let's keep it a bit like clear. Okay, then right. So next, let's click here on this view, which one for the host register. Let's edit this view. I will make it clearer, so less information because it's too much data for me to be shown for us. So let's click on this arrow and let's hide the title. I don't need a title for this view. So I just unselect title. It will disappear the title for me. So again, I can either select here and unselect title, or I can click with the right click of the mouse on my title and then hide title. Let's do the same for the other views. Let's come to the third view, right click of the mouse, hide title. My last view, right click of the mouse, hide title. Great, now it's looking a bit better. The same for this axis. I also don't need the axis here if I already have my values here on each bar. So I right click of the mouse here in the axis, and I will hide my header or unselect this field here, show header. The same for the axis of amount of hosts, right click of the mouse and then show header. I will come back 2 steps and I will do it again, but in another way. Other way of doing it, I can select my view. I can click here in this button, go to sheet. I come here and we do the same as we did before already. I just select my month and then show header. I will hide my header and then here the host ID. And also I hide my header by unselecting show header. Great. Let's come back to the dashboard. And let's do the same for this view here. Let's select with the right click of the mouse in the year and then show header, unselect it. Same here, right click of the mouse and then show header. Okay, what else can we make it better? As we can see here, we have our months, we have our years in each row, and we have it a square. But then we have a lot of space between these bars here, right? So let's reduce this space so it will look better in the view. So let's click here, go to sheet. Let's go to this worksheet for each year. And how can I change the sizing of each bar? I can basically click on this size here on the mark again on my mark window. I click on size and I can play with the size of each bar. I want it to be, yeah, I think like this it looks better. I want it to look the same as it was looking our other view. So let's go back to the dashboard. Wow, now it's looking much better. Let's do the same for this view, but also another thing that we can do here, we also have placed the total amount of hosts per month here in the bar. We don't need this. This is too much information for us at the first moment. We can go to the worksheet and let's delete this. Let's remove this number from hosts from the label. And how can we delete it? We just click on host ID here and drag it somewhere else. Let's just delete it. And let's have only our month. Let's also change the size of each bar by clicking size and then drag it, make it larger. Great. Let's see how it looks in our dashboard. Now it doesn't look that good. Let's go back, make it smaller. Oh, yeah. Now it looks better. I will also add something here to this title. So I will add some instructions for our end user. Everyone opening this dashboard, this person needs to understand what information we are getting and how can I interact or how can I play around with this data. So something that I can add here is like a subtitle, like click on the map to filter the dashboard. Let's make this subtitle a bit smaller and change the color to some gray. Okay, so our subtitle is saying to us, click on the map to filter the dashboard. But if I click the map, it doesn't do anything, right? So how can we filter the dashboard? How can we make it filter the rest of the information? We can basically, it's very easy. We just click on this view and select here this option, this little button here, like use as a filter. Once I select this option, it will basically filter the rest of the dashboard or all the other views that we have that are using the same fields. So if I click on a city, for example, Paris, now it will change the other views that I have, which means in Paris, once I select Paris, I know exactly which month and which year the hosts were registered in the platform. If I unselect the city, I can see all the other cities again and play around with other cities in Europe. What else can we add to this visualization? I would make it clearer or change the formatting. So let's go back to this view again, go to this worksheet, and I will do some formatting, and I will exclude all the information that it's too much for our eyes to process. And in this case, it's this background lines here. I don't want it to be on my dashboard. So I can just click on it with the right click of the mouse, click, format, and here we can choose what we want to format, what we want to exclude. I come here to this little button here, these grid lines here, and then we will have different options. But here, this grand total, I can just select none, none. So I will make everything that is appearing to me. Also to columns, none, none. So everything is none. And I will also select here this button, these lines. And for rows, I don't want any grid lines. I don't want to know 0 lines. Axis rules, I will select everything none. The same for columns. I just want to have my bar chart. Ooh. Let's do the same exercise for the year view. Let's select our year view and then format. We can even play around a bit with this in order to understand this formatting stuff, because this formatting can take a lot of time sometimes if you need to edit and make your dashboard really looks nice. So you don't need to make it with me. Let's just play around here and see what will happen. What changes if I change something. In my default, if I want to change everything to orange, for example. So you can see, playing around this, you can see exactly where this will be changed in the view. So I'm just like changing anything just to see how it looks like. Then this way you can really see what exactly you can change in your view. But doesn't look exactly what we want. So let's just select none, none. Let's just clean it. The less information we have for our eyes, the better. So we can really focus on exactly what we want to learn from the dashboard. Where and how many hosts were registered and when the hosts were registered in the platform. And then let's put it back none. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard and see how it looks like. Cool. Now we have our dashboard. What else can we add here? We can add a line to separate the title to the dashboard. And the way we do this line, one way of doing it is selecting this blank option here. So just before one important point here that I forgot to mention. This is our dashboard view, and here down there are some objects with which we can play around in order to build the dashboard. So what we did so far, we just selected our worksheets and we placed it in our work area to build the dashboard. But to make it better or to make it easier to work with, we can also place some objects here that Tableau offers us. For example, we have my title here, but if I want to add some text to my dashboard, I can select text and add it to as a subtitle and place it where I want it to be. We also have other options like a navigation button. If we have more than one dashboard, we can place a navigation button or more than one button and edit it. So you don't need to follow me, just watch, and then if you have questions, I'm open. Then once you added this navigation button, you can just select go to second dashboard, and then you can edit the name of the button, like dashboard number 2, and then you can move between different dashboards. But we are not using this in our dashboard here. You have a download button as well. If you add this download, once you have your dashboard in Tableau, you can download this visualization either as a PDF file, as an image, or as a PowerPoint file. And then you can share this with other people, the same visualization at that specific moment. That's how you generate reports. And also interesting here is like this horizontal and vertical containers. This is the best way to work actually with Tableau, but you don't need to know it now. But basically, this is a container. If I add a container to the dashboard, this is a horizontal one, which means I can add my visualizations, a lot of visualizations horizontally, one after the other. Or if I select the vertical container, I basically can add my visualizations vertically, one after the other. This is a great way to structure your dashboard. But for what we have here, we don't need, because we only have 4, and that's exactly what we. But what we can do now, and you can do it together with me, we can add an image. We can add the logo of our Airbnb. So just select image here and drag and drop it to the size. But it won't look good. So let's come back. Let's place it somehow after our title. Now it won't look good, so we'll do it a different way. So once you drag and drop the image to your dashboard, you select here now floating, the floating option, or you can come here to this arrow on the image arrow and select floating. So it means that our image will be floating in our dashboard. And then you click on the center, or here in the edit image, click on the arrow, edit image, and let's choose the Airbnb logo that it was in the same folder. So you can select fit image or center image, and then select OK. Let's change the size of the logo and place it on a better way, on a better place. Cool. We'll delete the subtitle as we don't need it. It's larger. And I will add some line here between the title and the dashboard. I will just drag this blank here. Oh, sorry. We need to select tile, not floating. So tile, select blank, and drop it. As you can see, it can be a little bit messier. You really need to know where to place stuff. So you need to pay attention to these gray areas, these little gray areas. And that's how you know where to place what you are adding to your work area. And this blank space here, I will change the color, the background color of this blank space. So I select this blank space that I've just added to my view. And then here on the left side, I click layout. And I can change the layout of this blank space. I will choose then either a gray, even the Airbnb color. Let's stick with a gray, light gray color. And I will edit the height. I don't want it to be that large, so let's put 9. So again, what I did, I just added this blank object here. I added it to my dashboard. I selected this blank. I came to layout on the left side, and inside layout, I changed the color of my blank. And as soon as you change the color, you're gonna see the background will look wider or large, not beautiful enough. And then I just changed the height of this blank space.
Sorry, can you repeat what does the horizontal and vertical objects do?
Yeah, okay. And we can do it together then. You can do it together with me. For example, we have now a problem here that I have my title and I have my logo, but my logo is floating because I cannot, if I put this logo as not floating, it won't, I can't fit it to my dashboard the way I want it to fit. So I'm gonna work. So let's work then with this horizontal container. I will come back on space, back. So let's select this horizontal container and drag it to our dashboard here on the top. So it means inside this horizontal container, inside this container, I can place anything I want, but horizontally, everything horizontal. And what exactly I will place inside this? I will place my title and my logo because I want them to be one after the other. So let's do it. I already have my container here added to the dashboard. I will now select the title, keep selecting it, and I will move it inside this container. Cool. Now I'm going to do the same for the Airbnb logo. But first I need, instead of floating, I need to unselect floating. So it won't be floating anymore in the dashboard. It will be actually tiled. And once I select the logo and I move it inside, I need to move it inside this container. And here it is. How can I know that this is here? Because I see this border, this blue border, indicating me that the title is inside this container, and this gray view, not here. I just had it. Now you can see this gray. This is where my logo will be placed. You need to move around and try to get the same spot. Now I have exactly what I wanted. Inside this container, this horizontal container, I have my title and my logo, one after the other. The same happens with a vertical container. If you add any kind of container, vertical container to your dashboard, you will be able to add different views, image, title, or views in a vertical way. So I can move around a bit my title, make it larger, make I will add in my image again. Also, how to understand how your dashboard, or what's the format, or how your dashboard is structured. Just click here in layout. We don't select anything in the dashboard. Click in layout. Click on tile. Here you have the structure of your dashboard. Let's understand it a bit. So first, this vertical container, it's everything. All my dashboard is inside this vertical container. Then I have the first thing I have in my dashboard is my horizontal container, the one I have added. We have added together. After this, I can rename it as like title and logo. And then we have our line just to separate the title from the dashboard itself. And then we have another horizontal container. And inside this container, we have a few other containers containing, this is automatically generated by Tableau because we were just adding our sheet inside of it. And then we have our different views. But if you want, or if you want to structure better your dashboard, you can do it yourself, adding some horizontal or vertical containers to the dashboard, and then only in the end place the worksheets to the containers. So let's make this image a bit, larger. And then something that we can, so we are on the edit mode. We are editing our dashboard. So if you want to see our dashboard, how it would look like after we publish, we can either click here or press F7. So once I click it here, that's our final result. And then we have since when we're host registering on Airbnb, and then we can play around with the data. Any questions by now before I explain something else? Could you follow me? Do you have all the same dashboard? All good? Thumbs up if you're still breathing, you're still here with me. Not sleeping. Okay, so what else is very important for us once you are working, with business analysis, business BI analysis, is our tooltip function. So what is the story that this dashboard is telling me? What message our end user needs to have from this? A great way of working more and exploring this storytelling is working with the tooltip. And tooltip is exactly that. When I hover over my city, I get this information: city, London, country, United Kingdom, and total number of hosts. And the same here. So this is a tooltip. Let's work with it. Let's change this part and make a better use of this tool. So let's come back to this view, cities where hosts are located. Let's open it. And let's edit the tooltip. By editing, we just click on tooltip here. Just clicked and a new window will appear for us. This is the window. So city, and then this is the field city we are using, the field country from our data source, and the field that we created, this calculated field we created. Let's change it. Let's make a bit of storytelling out of it. So in city, and then inside some parentheses, let's in city X, which belongs to country X, there were a total of, and then our field, our calculated field, aggregated, this is AGG, means aggregated, total number of hosts. Wages. So I will change the colors, make it gray, let's darker gray. And our fields, the fields that will be changing, let's have some more color edit. So in city, there were a total of X number of hosts. Oh, I forgot. Register on. We can click on review to see how it would look like, or just click OK. And then once we hover over each city, it will change our message. So why is it useful? Because the end user, someone who is seeing your dashboard, this person doesn't need to think much. As soon as this person reads the message, it doesn't need to think or to interpret or to lose time thinking and analyzing. This is the message we want to transmit. In London, there were a total of 37,000 hosts registered. In Paris, right? This is a cool feature. So again, how we change this, we just click tooltip, and then we add it the same way we wanted. What else can we add to this tooltip? We don't need to add it here, but just so for you to understand. Inside here in this insert, we can add also other sheets that we created. So we created like which month, we create other 3 sheets, and we can add this view here inside the tooltip. And it means that when I hover over, it will show us also a sheet, but only for the specific city I'm hovering over. So, but this is not the best example. Let's insert another sheet, like in which month, for example. And then for France, we once we hover over, we know that for France or for other cities, which month were the highest. But we don't need this in this case because we already have these views in our dashboard. So I will delete this. Okay, we are now heading to the end of this session. As we still have some more minutes, some more like 20, 25 minutes. We have already our dashboard. At least I hope you could build it. Congratulations, your first dashboard ever in Tableau. But then I would like here, this is the moment I open the session for discussions. We can discuss something else that you would like to know, or we can keep building some more visualizations together, or we can use this final moment of the session just for questions and answers. So here I am open for iterative discussions with you all. Is there anything that you would like me to redo, to explain again, or would you like me to keep going and building a new visualization? How are you feeling? Are you tired, hungry, sleepy? That's your moment, actually. So now you can either unmute yourself or just type it on the chat. No questions. So okay, let's play again with the thumbs up.
Filter again.
Yep.
Sample for filter with formula inside.
Sorry again, could you please repeat again the question?
Can you build a filter formula?
Yeah. So you can either play with this filter box here, or yeah, this is already a bit advanced. So you can already click create a new field, for example, and then let's filter and I don't know. I am whatever the filter month, and we can choose here any kind of information we would like to filter. For example, let me think something. So for example, if I know my month, or something else. So host ID, higher. This is already a bit like advances, but you don't need to follow me. Just to see what is possible. Now, host ID higher than 10,000. So I am creating a new calculated field, and here I can add like some formulas. For example, if my total, and then I will drag and drop it. My total number of hosts is higher than 10,000, then show me this number. And this is one way of building filters, but indeed you can build filters or even play around with true and false, and then put it inside the filter and select only the true values. But this is one way of building it. And so if total number is higher than 10,000, then show me this. And I created this filter, and then I can add it to this. And I can play around all of this with these values inside this. What else would we do working with true and false, for example? Think no idea. If you do you have an idea, or did I answer your question, Harold? Like, or what specifically would you like to do? Or
that was answer was okay for me because I wanted to see a calculated field. Okay, thank you.
yeah, oh great. Other way also with working with calculated field is this selecting straightforward the field you want to work with, for example, name, and clicking on the arrow and then selecting create and create calculated field. And then once you do it, this name, this field you are working with will appear directly in this calculated field. Okay, so if there are no other questions, I will create a new visualization just quickly, so you can do what else we can do, or something else that we can add to this dashboard. I want to see along the year how were these hosts like growing up along the year, and how many hosts were adding up or registering to the Airbnb. So I want to see that on my horizontal the year. So in my columns, I will add hosts since I will add the year. I will exclude null, as we already did, and the total number of hosts per year I can add here. But we have a problem here, because here this total number of hosts, if we add this is a count. We are counting the host ID. I don't want to count them again. I want to do something different. I want to sum all my hosts year after year. So I will get back to this host ID as we were doing in the beginning. And I will add this host ID to my rows, add all members. And change it to measure count distinct. So now my count, my host ID I changed it to a continuous. It's a measure. It's green, exactly what I wanted to have. And then Tableau allows us also to work around with these measures, with these values. We can have these quick table calculations inside Tableau. So before doing anything, what it says to me, the same that we had before, I know that per year, so in 2009, we had 54 hosts. Then each year we have like more and more hosts being registered in the platform. But I want to know, I want it to be a sum. I want to see like in 2010, I want also just to see those hosts which were registered in 2009. I want Tableau to show me the sum of the previous years as well. So this we can do easily with these quick table calculations that Tableau allows us. We just select the measure that we have and click quick table calculation. And then we select running total. Nice, that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see a sum, like 2009, we know how many we had. So it's summing also the hosts from 2008 and 2000 then also summing the hosts from the previous years and so on. But this I don't want to see as it is continuous. Just 1 second. And then if you want to see it continuously, I will change it to line. Oh, so now we know that along the year, how many hosts were being registered. Line, it doesn't also look that good, so let's change it to area. Oh. And let's add some color, the Airbnb color. Let's do hide all the title, hide my axis, and let's keep our axis for each year. Let's change our view to the entire view. Cool. So let's add this to our dashboard as well. We have this new sheet that we have created, and I will just place it under everything, and then hide my title, adjust it the way I want. And let's play around again with the tooltip, because here we only have like raw information, right? Like year and running sum. Our end user, they need to think, these milliseconds that they take to think what I need to understand from this. This is like very important. If we can make it better for our end users, that's our job, or that's our role as a creating this dashboard. Let's change this. Let's make life for our end users easier. So I go to the sheet and I change my tooltip, just as we have already did. So for this year, there was a total of, and then the number that we want, register in the platform. Gray. Change it to Airbnb colors. Okay, so nice. Yeah, now we can see the running sum, how many hosts were registered in each year. Oh. What else could we do here? Oh, basically this is it. This is our final dashboard. This is how it looks like. And I hope you really have enjoyed this session, or you have at least learned something or learned how to play around with Tableau. Just before I finish, I will also mention something about LODs, but very generic. LODs, because someone asked, is something for an advanced course. But if you want to create a field, LODs mean level of details. And if you want to work with work around with your aggregation and your granularity of your visualizations of your tables, you can then work with these LODs formulas. It's basically a formula where you just fix it, some information. If I want to fix the host name, and then for each host name, this will be fixed. I will do a different type of calculation. If and host ID. So it's basically a formula where you can play around with the aggregation and granularity of your data. So this is not something that I would mention now, but if you, I don't remember who asked that, but if you have any kind of specific questions, you can come back to me and then we can still solve your question. So any other questions, any other topics you would like to mention, or something that you would like me to make clear about Tableau, data, visualizations? So thumbs up for me then. Who could create the same visualization we have here, at least the 4 visualizations we have?
Actually, can you repeat about the LOD? What is it for? I'm a bit confused.
Yeah. I'll explain it a bit more. Just 1 second, I will open another. Key. So just generally speaking, just for you to understand what is possible, once you have a visualization here and you start moving, this is the same table we had in the beginning. And if you are working with this granularity and aggregation of your data, once you start moving around with the dimensions, you see the Tableau will change the sum, the aggregation values, the sum or even the average of your measures. But sometimes you don't want it to change. You want to have something really fixed once you are doing any kind of calculations, because depending on the view you have, if you change something or you select something, Tableau automatically will change it for you. Because this is the view, it automatically shows you, as we were saying in the beginning, it automatically shows you the sum as aggregation form. So in order to avoid this kind of stuff, Tableau offers us these LOD options. So LODs stands for level of details. And it is basically a formula where you can create to either fix, include, or exclude any kind of data from your visualization. So let's do an example here. If I have this category stuff, I have this subcategory, and doesn't matter what I change in my visualization, I want it to fix for my, for example, my subcategory, I want it to fix all my value here. So one way of doing it, I would use a formula saying fixed. So, and then fixing subcategory. And then, for example, there show me the average sales, for example. So it means that it doesn't matter what kind of visualization I will have in my view. Every time I use this calculation, it will give me like an average of sales for my subcategory. That's basically what it's doing. We are using a formula to fix one specific dimension in this case. So it's a way of working with your granularity and aggregation in Tableau. Was it a bit better clear now?
Yes, can you show the formula for a second again?
Yeah, this topic is already a bit more advanced, playing around with this. It's also, we would need a bit more time to explain you better. But then we can use something very useful. And it was how I also used for my Tableau. Technique also Tableau team. He knows a lot. If you need more, if you need to work with LODs, is where you can also work. Yeah, for example, we have plenty of videos like you can have fixed, include, exclude. It's also easy way to learn more about this. So, okay, guys, we are 2 minutes. I would like to thank you all for joining us. If you would like to have any kind of like training, like basic training, intermediate training, or advanced training in Tableau, we also have this kind of trainings. Just let us know, contact us. We would be more than happy to help you with. And I hope this training was useful for you. You could have at least some idea of how it is to work with Tableau, or at least this first view or first contact with this incredible tool. So if you liked or if you disliked, just some thumbs up, thumbs down, or some feedback. How is the mood now? Are you tired? Great, I'm happy. Cool. So if there is any question, this is the last moment. I will stay here for 5 more minutes. But if you don't have any questions, I thank you very much for joining us in this workshop, Tableau Test Drive. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. You all enjoy. I hope the weather there is better than here in Berlin.
Thank you, Raphael, and thank you all for participating. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Oh, there's a question. Can you give info of more advanced courses? Yeah, Joe, I will come to you. I will mail you information on the advanced courses. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.